नमस्कार, द लीगल प्लेटफॉर्म में आपका स्वागत। आज हम बात करेंगे एक ऐसे मुद्दे की जिसने फिलहाल हिंदुस्तान में एक तरीके से जो सोशल मीडिया में क्या कहते हैं सक्रिय लोग हैं उनको लेके उनके दिमाग में एक चिंता की लहर पैदा करती है। कानून के लेवल पे भी, सरकार के लेवल पे भी एक चिंता की बड़ी क्या कहते हैं लकीरें दिख रही हैं। एक ऐप आया सामने, पता चला बुल्ली बाई ऐप, जिसमें कुछ खास धर्म की महिलाओं की तस्वीरें पोस्ट की जा रही थी बिना उनकी जानकारी के, बिना उन महिलाओं की जानकारी के। और इस मामले में पुलिस ने 3 गिरफ्तारियां भी की हैं, जिसमें एक उत्तराखंड की एक लड़की है, एक मध्य प्रदेश का एक लड़का है और एक आसाम का लड़का है। खास बात यह है कि ये तीनों ही लोग अच्छे खासे पढ़े लिखे, और इसमें से जो दोनों लड़के हैं वो आईआईटी में इंजीनियरिंग कर रहे हैं, इंजीनियरिंग की पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, और उन्होंने ये ऐप बनाया, इसको अपलोड किया और इसमें ये तस्वीरें डाल रहे थे। ये पूरा मामला क्या है और इसमें किस तरीके की कानूनी प्रक्रियाएं हैं, किस तरीके के कानूनी वो लागू होते हैं, नियम लागू होते हैं, इन सब मामलों में बातचीत करने के लिए हमारे साथ मौजूद है दिल्ली हाईकोर्ट के सीनियर एडवोकेट विवेक सूद जी। विवेक सूद जी, आपका लीगल प्लेटफॉर्म में बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। मेरा पहला सवाल ये है कि इस जो मामला ये सामने आया है, आप इसको किस नजरिए से देखते हैं? एक इसका कानूनी पहलू है, संक्षेप में जानना चाहेंगे कानूनी पहलू से, और जो एक इसका सोशल जो सामाजिक मुद्दा है पहलू है, उसमें दोनों में आप किस तरीके से देखते हैं?
It's a very good question. From a legal perspective, I see it as a criminal offense. Now, as per the media, the accused have been booked under 509 IPC, that is outraging the modesty of a woman, and Section 354 of the Indian Penal Code, that is sexual harassment. So from a legal perspective, it is a very serious criminal offense that has been committed. Although I strongly believe that these kinds of offenses, especially when they are uploaded in the social media, when they are uploaded on the internet, they should be made even more serious offenses, in my view. Now, I want to explain this. In the pre-internet era, in the pre-1991 scenario, these things happened at a very, very small scale. You know, at the most, you heard of stories where some posters would be put up in the colleges or in the schools, on the notice board, or in the washrooms, etc., or some pamphlets would be circulated. But the circulation and publication was very limited. Now comes the internet. Now, internet being a global medium, now whenever these offenses are committed now, the gravity is manifold when compared to the pre-internet scenario. But the law has not caught up. So in my view, these kinds of offenses need to be defined in the Indian Penal Code or in the Information Technology Act, and they should be characterized as more serious offenses than their physical counterparts in the physical world. That is my view, and I am happy that the police has swung into action, and some arrests have also been made of some students and some youngsters. Of course, whether they are guilty or whether they are the real accused, those are all matters of trial, and eventually the court will decide, and the further investigation will reveal as to their complicity in the crime. But at least I'm happy that the law enforcement agencies in India today, they have that capability to make arrests and to identify these people, wherever you may be located. Now, one person has been arrested in Mumbai, one in Uttarachal, one in, I think, in the eastern part of India.
Yes.
Of the competence of the law enforcement agencies today in India.
Okay. My question, Mr. Sood, is now, as you said, कि police or the investigating agencies have been capable to arrest these people immediately. But this app was there on the net, available. People were posting pictures. So don't you think कि जब पुलिस का एक काम, जो उनकी आईटी सेल है, जो इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग एजेंसीज का आईटी सेल है, उसका एक काम इस पे नजर रखना भी है कि किस तरीके के एप्स आए हैं, उसमें क्या चल रहा है? क्या वहां पे फेलियर लगता है आपको कोई?
In my view, that is not the responsibility of the police, but that is the responsibility of an institution or an organization such as the CERT-in, the Computer Emergency Response Team of India.
Okay,
And
yes.
so more due diligence is required in this regard. All I can say.
Okay.
It is possible to eradicate these incidents in totality. It is like saying that can all crime be eradicated and prevented? No, it is not possible. Crime is as old as humanity.
Yes.
So crimes will keep happening. Crimes will be committed in future also. This is the end all of criminality. But in view, we need more organizations, more institutions. We need more due diligence on the part of the service providers, on the part of web platforms, telecom service providers, internet service providers, search engines, law enforcement agencies, organizations and institutions like CERT-in, that when there is more diligence, you can prevent many of these crimes from happening. And even if crimes happen, they can actually be investigated, inquired into, or taken down at the earliest possible opportunity. You know, see, these are persistent crimes. When you upload something like this on the internet, the crime is persistent. And as time goes along, the gravity also increases. More and more people log in. So the victimization increases by the day. And when you have millions of people flocking on these kinds of web platforms, one can, I shudder to visualize the predicament of the victims of such crimes. So we definitely need a stronger due diligence mechanism in our system so that as far as possible, these crimes can be prevented at the earliest possible opportunity.
Okay. Acha, you just spoke about the some definition, define, उनके definition के बारे में आपने बात कहा कि थोड़ा और ज्यादा define होने चाहिए, थोड़ा और ज्यादा. क्या आप ये कहना चाहेंगे कि ये जो कानून है, जो इस इंटरनेट से जुड़े जितने भी कानून है, खासकर अगर महिलाओं से जुड़े हुए हैं, उनकी मॉडेस्टी को लेके हैं, उसमें तो क्या आपको ये लगता है कि इसमें जो भी दोषी साबित होता है, क्या उसकी सजा के लिए कुछ इस तरीके का होना चाहिए कि जो रेप के मामलों में जैसी सजा का प्रावधान है, क्या उस तरीके की सजा का प्रावधान यहां होना चाहिए? क्योंकि ये बहुत ज्यादा एक आदमी की तस्वीर या किसी एक महिला की तस्वीर पूरी दुनिया में कहीं भी जा सकती है. जैसा कि आपने कहा, पहले भी ये होता था, बहुत एक लिमिटेड सर्किल में होता था, एक बहुत छोटे एरिया में होता था, बट अब तो पूरी दुनिया में कहीं भी जा सकता है. तो क्या इन अपराधों को, जो आईटी एक्ट का जो मामला है, जो उससे लेके, क्या इन अपराधों को किसी हद पे रेप या मोलेस्टेशन या उस कैटेगरी में रखा जा सकता है?
In my view, definitely these offenses, when they are mounted on the internet, they cause unimaginable harm to the victim. So, definitely these offenses should be defined separately. with an enhanced punishment may not be to the extent of rape and gang rape, but a notch below that. See, I must explain, and these offenses need to be defined more clearly. Unlike Section 66A of the Information Technology, now it was so
Yes.
loosely defined, it was so generally defined, it was so vaguely defined. Ultimately, it was struck down as constitutional by the Supreme Court in India Singles case. So we need to very specifically define these offences under the IT Act or in the Indian Penal Code. And I would suggest to the lawmakers that the punishment should be at least double, or it should be enhanced when compared to the same crime being committed in the physical world. So I repeat, the internet multiplies the gravity of this crime to unimaginable levels from the perspective of the victim. Secondly, I want to make a point that defamation is a crime under the Indian Penal Code, but it is a non-cognizable offense, which means that the victim has to file a criminal complaint before the magistrate and prove the case before the magistrate. Now, when defamation happens anonymously on the internet, it is impossible for the victim to collect the evidence, to identify the accused, and to prosecute him in the court of law. So I would suggest to the lawmakers that defamation, criminal defamation, when committed anonymously on the internet, should be made a cognizable offense.
ओके, सो आपका मानना यह है कि इसमें जो क्राइम है उसकी डिफाइन किया जाना बहुत जरूरी है, तभी उस हिसाब से सजा को भी वो किया जाना चाहिए। मेरा सवाल एक इससे अब थोड़ा सा इसका जो सोशल सामाजिक पहलू जो सोशल इश्यूज इससे जुड़े हैं, तीनों जो लोग अभी तक, जिसमें से 2 लोग गिरफ्तार किए गए और एक को हिरासत में रखा गया अभी तक, ये तीनों ही लोग पढ़े लिखे बच्चे, यंग हैं, 20, 21, 22 साल के लोग हैं, 23 साल के लोग हैं। क्या आपको ये नहीं लगता कि, और ये एक खास धर्म के खिलाफ चल रहा था, एक खास धर्म की महिलाओं के खिलाफ चल रहा था, तो क्या आपको ये नहीं लगता कि ये चीज कहां से डेवलप हो रही है? इसके लिए क्या कहेंगे आप, जो समाज में इस तरीके की हेट्रेड जो है या घृणा जो है वो डेवलप हुई, इसके लिए क्या आप इसके सामाजिक पहलू पे भी कहना चाहेंगे?
In my view, definitely there is a sociological element of these crimes, and the fact that these crimes have been committed using the internet to make an app. Now, only educated people can commit such crimes. You can't have people who are uneducated or illiterate. People on the streets will not commit these kinds of crimes.
Yes.
And definitely, this reflects of the mindset of these individuals. Now, see, at this point of time, they are only accused, so we cannot say that they are criminals and they have committed the crime. They enjoy the presumption of innocence. The matter will be ultimately decided by the court of law whether they have committed the crime or not. But there is a sociological element, and I must elaborate on this.
Yes.
The belief in the minds of people that if they commit these crimes on the internet, they are anonymous. They are not to be identified. Now that myth has been broken in this case. So these are deterrent examples for the society at large, that just because you are sitting in some basement in some corner of the country and you commit a crime like this, it doesn't mean you cannot be identified, you cannot be prosecuted. So that message has gone when you have these cases being exposed. But definitely, I must say, there are many such cases which I come across on the legal table. So many clients approach me, so many victims approach me with these kinds of cases. So these cases are many, and therefore we need a stronger law. We need a more vibrant or proactive law enforcement agencies. Now, just because this case gained media attention, the law enforcement agencies swung into action. But you have so many of these individual cases where nothing ultimately comes out. So therefore, we need to up the law enforcement agencies insofar as checking these crimes, preventing these crimes, insofar as investigating these crimes, and insofar as the sociological aspect is concerned. I think there should be more educative programs in the schools, colleges. Parents have to play an important role in counseling their children, their teenage children, not to indulge in these kinds of activities. So definitely there is a sociological aspect of these kinds of crimes, and the society must try and prevent these crimes by changing the mindsets of the people. These youngsters, they have a vulnerable mindset. They are growing. They don't have that maturity. So that's where the role of the parents, school, colleges, counselors, media, programs of the government, that's where these things come into play. Now, insofar as whether a specific group of women of a certain religion have been targeted. Now, I can't comment on that because I can't go into the motive. I can't go into the mind. Why this has happened and what is the motive behind this particular aspect. I'm sure during investigation something may emerge out of this, but I'm unable to comment on this aspect. But having said it, whoever is the victim, it doesn't matter. Whatever religion that victim or the group of victims belong, it doesn't matter. They're after all victims.
A victim is a victim.
A
victim is a victim.
Not make this debate into a religion-oriented or a caste-oriented kind of case.
अच्छा, एक चीज और, जो ये केस है, मैं इसके फिर एक बार लीगल पहलू पे वापस आऊंगा। जो ये मामला है, इसमें जो कानून अपना काम करेगा, जो भी धाराएं लगाएगी, अदालत अपना फैसला देगी। जो प्लेटफॉर्म्स है जहां पे ये ऐप अवेलेबल है, उनकी कितनी जिम्मेदारी है और क्या सरकार उनके खिलाफ कोई कार्रवाई करने की स्थिति में है? क्या ऐसा कानून है कि सरकार उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई कर सके जिन प्लेटफॉर्म पे ये ऐप अवेलेबल है?
Now, these platforms on which these apps are loaded, uploaded, mounted, they are called intermediaries in law. They are platforms on which people upload these kinds of pictures or material, etc. Now, under the Information Technology Act of 2000, there is a responsibility on these intermediaries. That is the responsibility of due diligence to prevent crimes from happening on their platforms. Now, as long as the due diligence practices are being implemented by these platforms, they cannot be made liable. They can be made liable only if they are found to have abetted the commission of the crime, or if they are conspirators in the crime, which means they had the mens rea. Now, in my view, these intermediaries are providing services. They are business models. They cannot be attributed with mens rea in intention that they abetted or they were a part of that conspiracy to commit the crimes. It would be unfair to make them accused in all of these cases. Now, see, I'm not commenting on any particular case, but I'm making a general statement. But if they violate the principles of due diligence, definitely they can be made liable under the law. Perhaps they can be penalized. can be
because but
but as
that due diligence has to be proved कि whether due diligence was क्या कहते हैं हुआ था या नहीं हुआ था, ये भी एक प्रूव करना होगा। और ये हमारे ख्याल से इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग एजेंसीज या प्रोसिक्यूटिंग एजेंसीज के लिए एक मुश्किल हो सकती है।
Yeah, no, that's a matter of investigation. So when these cases are investigated, I'm sure the law enforcement agencies will call upon those intermediaries that, okay, you come forward, join the investigation. What was the due diligence mechanism that you were implementing? Was it of a requisite level, or did it fall short of that level? So that all those aspects should be made part of the investigation. And I will suggest to the lawmakers, to the policymakers, to the government, that these due diligence practices, due diligence guidelines must be very clearly framed for each of these intermediaries, each of these service providers. They should not be left, to some kind of a self-assessed interpretation. There should be guidelines, they should be updated, and these guidelines should be implemented in letter and spirit. It's not that, okay, very well, I have certified that these guidelines are being followed, but there has to be an audit of these due diligence practices which are being followed by the intermediaries. Only then we can improvise the system to a level where we can prevent these crimes from taking place, or we can minimize these crimes from taking place.
अच्छा, एक आखिरी सवाल, जो ये धाराएं लगी हैं, जो और उसमें अगर ये लोग प्रूव हो जाता है कि हाँ ये सही थे, ये दोषी साबित होते हैं, तो क्या मैक्सिमम सजा कितने साल तक की हो सकती है? इस बारे में कुछ आप जानकारी देंगे?
In fact, let me consult the IPC and tell you.
Yeah.
509 is punishable with imprisonment up to 3 years.
Okay.
And I think they have to invoke 354A. So 354A is also invites imprisonment of up to 3 years.
Okay.
Now, in my view, it is grossly on the lower side, but then on the law as it is applicable when the offense was committed will apply.
Okay.
But for the future, in my view, there should be an enhanced punishment when these offenses are committed using information technology, using the internet, using the web and telecom platforms.
Because the gravity of the crime is multiplied
by a million. I must say that because number of viewers, you have millions of viewers who are logging into these portals to view. Just say, I must say, on the street you have an accident, so some people will congregate on the street and they call it tamasha. So only a few hundred people can congregate, but on these web platforms, millions of people will see this tamasha. They will call it a tamasha. When you look at it from the perspective of the victims of such crimes, I shiver to imagine their predicament.
Yes, that's true.
Therefore, we need a strong law in far as these crimes are concerned when they are committed on the internet.
विवेक सूद जी, आपका द लीगल प्लेटफॉर्म से बात करने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। तो विवेक सूद जी का मानना है कि क्राइम जो हुआ है, खासकर इंटरनेट से रिलेटेड और महिलाओं से रिलेटेड क्राइम्स में, एक तो पहली चीज क्राइम को डिफाइन किया जाना चाहिए और ज्यादा बेहतर तरीके से, और इनका जो बिल्कुल साफ तौर पे मानना है कि सजा बढ़ाई जानी चाहिए। आपने विवेक सूद जी ने बताया भी कि जो 2 धाराएं लगाई हैं उसमें 3-3 साल की सजा है। अगर दोनों को मिला के अलग अलग भी सजा मिलेगी, नॉर्मली एक साथ दी जाती है सजा, अगर अलग अलग भी सजा होगी तो 6 साल की सजा होगी जो विवेक सूद जी का मानना है कि कम है, इसको बढ़ाया जाना चाहिए और इतना बढ़ाया जाना चाहिए ताकि सजा का खौफ है। विवेक सूद जी, आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। अब जल्दी ही एक नए मुद्दे पे एक नई शख्सियत से आपके सामने फिर हाजिर होंगे। तब तक के लिए नमस्कार।
थैंक यू।